Do you have a child, perhaps?
Kevin Harrigan's rediscovery of his former jailer and tormentor, Alan Rusby, has been one of the more notable subplots in Paramount Plus's MobLand. At the end of episode 9, he finally had the showdown he's been aiming for. The audience has witnessed flashbacks to Kevin's incarceration as a young man at various points in the series, which was a crucial period for both Kevin and the Harrigan criminal organization. Since Harry D'Souza and Kevin met while incarcerated, Kevin's imprisonment indirectly led to Harry's participation with the Harrigans. Although Kevin initially denied remembering Rusby, Harry recognized him from his cleaner's mother's care home and recalled him as an unpleasant jail officer. He used this to hide the reality that decades before, he had been able to successfully block out his actual experiences with Rusby, which included verbal abuse, beatings, and occasional rape. Kevin's plan to find Rusby for sit-down eventually paid off, and he had the confrontation that had been brewing for years while Harry, Conrad, and Serafina were at the sit-down with Jaime Lopez. Why Kevin originally spared Rusby. Kevin lied his way into Rusby's house to confront him about the abuse he endured many years ago after he found out when Rusby went to see his wife at the nursing home and pretended to be a rideshare driver outside. The cheerful older man claimed to have had a spiritual epiphany after blocking out the majority of his time as a prison guard and had no recollection of Kevin. Insisting that Kevin was always disciplined with a firm hand and had no recollection of sexually abusing anyone, he even went so far as to speculate that Kevin might have dreamed the rape. After approaching Rusby, Kevin took out his gun and started to attach a silencer, making it obvious that his initial goal was to murder him. Instead of shooting him, though, he sobbed and urged Rusby to just leave him alone. It is proof that Kevin is not his father's vicious, insane killer. Instead, Kevin was aware that killing Rusby would not make his experience any less painful. He was sufficiently cathartic by the encounter with Rusby to at least admit his suffering and make an effort to move on. Kevin only killed Rusby after he mentioned his child. But when Rusby was given the chance by Kevin, he didn't really go. Returning to the kitchen, he sat down to carry on the conversation and perhaps start healing the shattered, crying Kevin. But Kevin's attitude immediately shifted when he started talking about kids. As soon as he was asked to repeat himself, Kevin's tears ceased and his face nearly became white, as though he had lost consciousness as he raised the gun and shot Rusby. In an instant, Kevin went from forgiveness, or at least dismissal, to cold-blooded murder when his child was specifically mentioned. Does Kevin killing Rusby further support Eddie being Conrad's son? Kevin's rage at the mention of his child is the sole surviving Harrigan son's second abrupt outburst. When his mother suggested that Kevin or his other brother could take over the Harrigan crime empire's leadership in episode 8 of MobLand, he reacted similarly. Even if he was interrupted soon after, the effect was evident. That mention alone was enough to have him instantly fling a terrible insult at his mother. There is further evidence that Kevin's presumed son, Eddie Harrigan, is actually Conrad's illegitimate kid with Bella, as Rusby's reference to Kevin's child similarly elicited an reaction. Bella's private pursuit of Harry supports the theory that Kevin may have married her merely to conceal Eddie's true parentage, given we already know that Conrad was associated with a much younger Bella before her marriage to Kevin. The Harrigan family at the heart of MobLand is far more complex than it first appears, as evidenced by Kevin's rage at Rusby's reference to his child.